We can't discuss the season 15 RHOA reunion without first covering the looks. But that's not what it's all about. But I must tell you, one thing about the RHOA, it doesn't matter how uneventful the season was, the reunion fashions will always be an event. Season 15 was no different. The ladies gathered in an assortment of blue hues. Everyone pulled out the stops. Sheree Whitfield showed up with her new nose. Marlo Hampton debuted a Titan Ozempic body. Sanya Richards Ross was glowing with a baby bump. And Kenya Moore served severe underboob and lots of feathers. It was all a feast for the eyes. Marlo, RHOA's resident fashion expert, got to go down the couch and react to each lady's fashion. Surprisingly, she was kind to most of her castmates, but admitted that she wasn't living for Kenya's 1940s inspired hair. Kenya was ready with the clapback. She knew that stuff didn't look right. And when she said Marlo looked like Mrs. Roper from Three's Company, honey, Miss Roper never looked that elegant. One of the first bombshells of the reunion came during Kenya's segment. Andy Cohen asked her about Mark Daly's ongoing legal fight over their daughter, Brooklyn. Kenya revealed that because of the scene in Birmingham, Alabama, where Marlo was banging on Kenya's door, Mark had referenced Marlo in their court battle. As if you dating another dude didn't have anything to do with that either, but let's move on. So Kenya served Marlo with a subpoena to appear in court and testify on her behalf. The idea of someone getting served with a subpoena on a reunion stage is kind of iconic. On paper, that's brilliant, shady, and cutty. However, it all fell flat when we returned from commercial break to learn that the subpoena was actually blank. Kenya said they must have printed the wrong one. Andy handed the paper back to her like a disappointed school teacher. Of course, Kenya has no shame for getting caught in her lie again. Also, the way she attacked Marlo during the segment where they spoke of Marlo dating the guy she's currently dating, she's always making reference to Marlo being a prostitute. That is getting old, okay? And very disrespectful at this point. Now, one of the most bizarre feels of this season that we revisit in part one of the reunion was the feud between Sheree and Kandi Burruss. From Candy's lack of support for the She by Sheree to her poor attendance record for cast events. Sheree had a never-ending bone to pick, and although they made up middle of the season, that went out of the window because Sheree had a lot to say to Kandi at the reunion. They straight up cursed each other out for a solid minute on the reunion. Much of the animosity came from Kandi questioning Sheree's honesty about her cosmetic work. According to Sheree, the only thing she had done is a slight nose job, which was actually because of some breathing issue, she said. No one believed that for a second. During the exchange, Sheree yelled, "Big face, little face," okay? And I guess she's making reference either way. I look good. Well, she does look attractive, but I think she should stop there with her face. As Candy threw shade at Shiba Sheen, Sheree clapped back, telling Candy to go mop the greasy floors at her restaurant. She then pulled out a bunch of printed copies of a faux newspaper called called She's or She News, essentially dedicated to ripping Candy apart and tearing down her businesses. Candy said that maybe Sheree should print some fashion instead of printing these little pamphlets. But everyone on the couch got a